Hey everyone, it's Neptorka here, back for another reaction video. We have the Gacha revenue for the month of July. Now, I can't quite remember what my predictions were, but I do believe I said that HSR would be number one without question. I said that Wuthering Waves would drop off hard. Predictions that I didn't say, but I'm kind of feeling now, is that Nikkei will be way up. Um, I wasn't expecting the summer banners to go that hard, and I think we're probably going to see some crazy stuff out of that. And then also, let's see, Genshin. I don't think anything new came out of Genshin, so it's going to drop a bit. And ZZZ had Yuzuha drop, so it's going to go up, I think. I'm trying to remember what else there was, but I think those are kind of the main ones. Reverse 1999 will go down. And then the others, I'll probably remember them as we go. This is the full list, so I'm gonna skip through a lot of these real quickly. I didn't want to get the picture this time, because if I have this, I can actually open him up and see basically from different regions, which is what I want to do. Because sometimes the different regions tell a story. So, quickly get through the stuff at the bottom. Data Live, they're still just cranking out pump and dump Data Live games. Tribe 9, look how much... Well, Tribe 9, I believe, is about to go EOS. So it's pretty much been obliterated. Higan Eruthiel, I actually played a little bit of this. This might be EOS as well, I'm not sure. But it probably doesn't have much left. One Punch Man, Tsubasa, Neural Cloud, they're just continuing to pump into this game. Even though people really don't play it. I played this for a little bit. It's not really that great. Haze Reverb. This game has fallen off hard. Sword Art Online, Mirror Legends. Dan Marchi finally got its EOS. It really sucks, but whoever was in charge of managing this, it was such an easy thing for you to do, and they just botched it so hard because they were obsessed with PvP, and they wouldn't let go of it. They wouldn't make that switch and be like, okay, nobody cares about our shitty ass PvP, let's move on. No, they continued to keep doing it, and because of that, the game failed. Big surprise. We have Legend Clover, ETE Chronicle, never heard of these. Guiling Chao, Horizon Walker, Astra, Knights of Vita. This has definitely fallen off. I'm trying to remember. I do remember when this came out, but not doing so great anymore. Isekai, Alterna Velt, Blue Exorcist. Man, some of these I've never even seen before. Lord of Nazarick. And then we have Counterside here. Counterside, I'm wondering if Counterside... Most people play Counterside on Steam rather than, other stuff. I'm kind of surprised it's down this far, because even though there have been new games to come out, it's still doing better than... It's still a better, looking and nice game than some of these other ones. So, I mean, I guess we'll find out. But, yeah, we'll see if it survives. I haven't seen it in a top 10 list in forever. This, I think, just goes to show that it's barely surviving, but I don't know if that's because most of its income's on Steam now, or it's because it's really dying. I no longer play it anymore. It's still downloaded on my, basically on my computer, but I mean, we'll see. It's got a great story, so if you ever want a great story, just go in and watch Counterside. It's wonderful. Re-Memento, this is on my computer, but I just, there's several games that I keep wanting to play, but I keep, dismissing going into it. It looks like this game just isn't going to survive, which is a shame, because when you compare something like this to Etheria Restart, I think this is way better. Yet Etheria Restart's getting all the credit. And this is kind of like your classic example of not being able to advertise your game properly. Causes, basically this kind of drop off, which sucks. Girls Frontline still hanging in there, even though Girls Frontline 2 is around. Grand Chase, Starseed. I've been kind of interested in this. This is another one I've kind of wanted to look at, but I just haven't gotten that into it. Mormons. This is another one that I've actually just heard about this. I'd never heard about this before, and I'm kind of interested to see what it's all about. I kind of need to, I'm at this point where I kind of need to like group up, spend some time, and play through some of these games that I've had interest in for a while, but I haven't done anything yet. So I can just like cross them off the list. They stop sitting in the like maybe category for me. Devil May Cry, Mormons, Idolmaster, Shiny Colors. Idolmaster continues to do well. Another Reverse Blue. D4D, Groovy Mix, Black Beacon. This game is just going to continue to plummet. It's just, I don't know, it's just not really good. I had it on my computer for a while. I mean, I tried it out. It came out earlier this year. It's just not that great. And I think it eventually will go away. Outer Plane, this is kind of the Smilegate other game that really failed. It basically tried, I don't know why they tried to double up on the same, like, kind of, like, make a competing anime for the anime game for the one that they already had. I don't know why you would do that, but that's what they did with Outer Plane, and it's, you know, it's failing because of it. Hopefully that will not happen with Chaos Zero Nightmare, which hopefully should be coming out this year. We have Eversoul. I'm always interested that Eversoul's continuing to make it this far. I stopped playing quite a while back, but, and you know, it's still making it in there. So we have Assault Lily. I've never heard of this before. I guess this is another one that should probably pay attention to. Sword Art Online, Honkai Gakuen. This is, I think, another Hoyo game that doesn't, like, people don't talk about. It's like, pretend it doesn't exist, Hoyoverse. Another Idolmasters, continuing to go strong, only in Japan. Ash Echoes, another one that will just continue to slowly go down until it dries up completely. FFBE, this has been around forever. I'm surprised it hasn't gone away. Valkyrie Connect. Why do I feel like this is based on an anime? I don't think it is, but it makes me want to look into it now. But I don't know anything about this. Tower Fantasy, I think, is making a huge switch to just being an MMO. I don't know how much of that is true. It'll be really interesting if it does come out like that. We'll see what happens. And we'll see, you know, what the change is. But basically, it'll be an MMO and everything will be free. And you can pay for costumes and whatnot. We'll see what happens. But that one's kind of interesting. Always a bummer that Dolphin Wave never came to the global market. And I think at this point, it won't. Like, you can see this drop here. It just... it really frustrates me when Japanese games, it's always Japanese games never make the jump to global market. They're just like, oh, we're going to keep it in our own country. And then when they finally are like, okay, let's make the jump to global market, it's like 3-4 years down the line. It sucks, man. You know, we finally got Uma Musume, and it's doing well in the global market, but it took them like 3 years to do it. It's just ridiculous. Another Idolmaster or Idol Manager game, Final Fantasy, Aether Gazer, Mobile Suit, Atelier Resleriana. This canceled in global, and I don't know if it's also EOSing in Japan. We'll see what happens, but yeah, it failed. I tried playing it when it first came out, and it was great for, well, no, it wasn't great for a while. It was just kind of meh. I couldn't get into it, so... Unfortunately, like, I got my Ryza, and then the rest, I don't know. It just, the summoning animations and stuff really bothered me, and then the graphics were not good. It was one of those that attempted to, like, do 3D graphics, but then didn't have either the coding prowess or the specs to be able to do it. and so it just ended up looking bad. Final Fantasy Record Keeper, another Idol Master, Guardian Tales. Here's Dislight. Man, Dislight, it really is being carried by Global. I honestly don't expect Dislight to last too long. It's like the number one game that I re-download just to see what's going on every once in a while, because I always love the whole gods concept of it, but I wish it would do better. Etheria Restart basically like copy and pasted their entire game off of Dislight, and a lot of people didn't notice that, but if they had, they would know that Etheria Restart wasn't going to be very good. Echo Calypse, I just can't get behind the combat system of this one. Yeah, I tried re-downloading it again and trying it, and it was just kind of meh. So I'm probably going to take it off my computer again. Tower of God, New World, continuing to hang in there. Ricci City, I've never heard of this before. Japanese is it Japanese Mahjong? Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Octopath Traveler, hanging in there. Toho, another Eden. Wow, this thing dropped off hard. I don't even know what for. But, whenever you have a drop like that, it's a little concerning. We have Sword of Convallaria. I honestly wasn't a fan of this when it came out, and I think it's going to continue to just drop and not be very successful. Serenverse, never heard of it. Brand new in the CN. We'll see if it ever comes to the US. Eminence in Shadow. More Idolmaster. There's so many. Like, I'm surprised they're able to milk out like $1 million here, there, everywhere. Trickle Revive, never heard of it. Summoner's War, Rush, just continuing to hang in there, though they had a big drop this time. When you get to the millions and like hundreds of thousands, like a smaller drop can result in dropping many spots. So I'm gonna guess the Summoner's War is still hanging in there just fine. Bleach, Realms of Pixel, Mahjong Soul, Princess Connect Redive. I'm still pissed at what Crunchyroll did to this game. They pissed me off so much. I played Princess Connect Redive. Honestly, it was a mindless gacha game, and I shouldn't have played it, so maybe it was a good thing that it got EOS on the global side, but the story is always fun, and the characters are hilarious, so it kind of sucks that it's gone. Langrisser, hanging in there. This game's been out for like 7 years now, and it's still just continuing to do well. Path to Nowhere. This is always an interesting game. It's kind of like the closest thing you would have to Arknights. It's like the Arknights other version. And honestly, I had fun when I was playing it, and it's one of those games that actually I would love to re-download and see how it's doing. I may do that. Lost Sword. Here's one of the games I've been interested in trying. Lost Sword, I think, released at the end of June, so this jump is kind of to be expected, because it's the first full month for the game. I think next month we'll find out whether or not it's actually succeeding or not. Grand Summoners, Bang Dream Girls Party, not so great. Blue Lock, Honkai Impact 3rd, still hanging in there. I hate Madoka Magica so much. Slime Isekai Memories. I rage quit this game when the rates just pissed me off too much. Maybe I need to look at it again, but it's just too time consuming, and it really pissed me off. I like saved for a long time, and then I blew everything on it, and I didn't get what I wanted, so I was pretty salty. But honestly, the Dan Machi game could be making 1.9 million if they had, half a brain, but apparently they didn't know what they were doing. I'm still really salty that Dan Machi's getting EOS because of incompetent management. Here we have Etheria Restart. I mean, we all saw this coming, right? Well, maybe you didn't see it coming because you didn't know that it was such a bad game. But I mean, if all you saw were videos of like Car 6 and others like hyping it up, thinking it's good, It's not. It's a terrible game, and I think it won't take long until it drops behind Dislight, because it's like Dislight, but without the charm of Dislight. It's even worse. This is going to continue to just fall off and plummet, and I think next month it's going to go down again. They're going to be in trouble real quickly. Marvel Mystic Mayhem. I know nothing about this game. I've heard some. I've had some. Basically, some followers have been playing this game. They've been enjoying it, but I know nothing about it. We have Fire Emblem Heroes, once again, just getting the same amount. Big surprise. This is global. Like, I think they just estimate flat numbers. This doesn't surprise me. There was nothing special in July that came. I mean, another summer banner came out, but it wasn't a really hype summer banner like some summer banners have been in the past, so people just didn't care. And I'm not surprised. This number will go up next month, though, because that's when the Brave Heroes come out, and that's when things will become really popular. Solo leveling, AFK Journey, still hanging in there. Snowbreak, huge boost. It's from the CN side. Is it from the CN side? Yeah, it is from the CN side. And I think they released at the same time. So this past month, Snowbreak released their anniversary. So that's why the boost is so big. And honestly, it's very possible that after this, we'll get a swimsuit banner. So this number will stay at least decently high before going back down again. So Snowbreak is still eating good. I'm glad that they kind of revived themselves. I enjoy Snowbreak. So I'm glad that it's continuing to do well. 2.3 million is nothing to scoff at. Heavens Burns Red, continuing to hang in there. Probably could have been making a whole bunch more money had they just launched on global the same if they just launched on global in China when they did in Japan. Idiots. Look at this. Their 3.5 anniversary. And these guys are, like, just now getting their, like, I don't know, half anniversary. Like, come on, Japan. What is wrong with you guys? This low number right here is, like, it could have been, like, probably combined. If you combine these two, well, maybe China would make a bit more. But if you combine these two, you'd probably be making around 2-3 million more. I mean, sorry, you'd be making about 3 million. But no, not making much because you decide to hold off forever. Never heard of Love Brush Chronicles. I'm wondering, is this a Girl Coomer game? Might be. Punishing Gray Raven, still doing pretty good. I don't know if they had anything big come out, but yeah, it's doing pretty good. One Piece Ambition, huge drop off for Reverse 1999. This is to be expected because last patch we had, or the previous cycle we had, there was Recoleta, and then 2.7 came out, and it was Kipperina and Hisabeth. And honestly, those aren't going to do as well as before, because we had part of a 0.5 anniversary in June, and then we had extra stuff, and also because people are saving big time. They're saving big time because the Assassin's Creed combo is coming. Now, you can see most of their revenue was in China. I believe that's because they, back in June, they had their, one of their anniversaries, and they had big units come out. So now everyone is saving. Global, you name it, Japanese, they're saving because Assassin's Creed collab is going to be coming out in a couple of days, and it's going to be huge. It's going to be so cool. This number is going to shoot right back up. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for it. So this will probably shoot back up to, it could be one of the highest numbers that it's ever had, because it's going to be everyone together getting the same characters for the first time. It's going to be a global release for Reverse 1989. We'll see how good it is. But I'm excited for it, and both characters will be released in August. Ezio is coming out in a few days, and then Cassandra will come out like on August 20th or so. And man, it's gonna be really cool, and I think this number is gonna jump up really high. Let's say around 8 million. I think that's where it's gonna be. We'll see if I'm right. Maybe people aren't really interested in the collab, but from what we saw on the collab live stream, they did a really good job of incorporating everything together. The art style of Reverse 1989 with basically the historical value of Assassin's Creed, meshing it together. It looks awesome. I'm super excited for it. Tokyo Debunker, don't know much about it. Same thing with Disney's Twisted Wonderland. Yu-Gi-Oh! Wizard Variants Daphne. Honestly, I thought this would fall off more by now, but it seems to be doing pretty well. Globally, it's hanging in there. 3 million. I have no clue what just came out in it, but it's doing good. Limbus Company, same thing. I played Limbus Company, and honestly, I wasn't a fan of it. So I don't know what released in Limbus Company, but apparently it's a good one. So I'm glad to see these improvements. Dragon Quest Tact, I have no clue. Azure Lane. Last month was the ending of a UR event. This July, as with all Julys, are usually big dud events. This time we had a collaboration, which probably helped it not fall off as hard. But, yeah, it's usually not that great. Now, next month, it may go down even more. It's going to be the American anniversary, or the global anniversary. But it's not going to be till September when we get another UR and we get the Japanese anniversary that this number will skyrocket once again. And my guess is it will probably hit that 8 million range that I mentioned for Reverse 1999, but that won't happen until September. And I like these numbers. They're pretty even across every region. I like it when the pull from each region is generally pretty close. I do like that. Epic 7 got a boost in sales. This is because of the release of Witch of the Mare Tenebria. You can always measure. There were some summer events, and also they've been having a whole bunch of anniversary events. So a lot of people have been coming in, playing the game for the first time, and spending. But most of the time, when you see changes in Epic 7, it's going to be based on what ML unit came out. Now, we could get ML Raws at the end of August, and if that is the case, you will see these numbers stay high. It'll emulate this 3.2 million, or it may go down very slightly because you won't have as much time to pull for ML Ross or whoever the ML unit is. Pretty sure it's going to be ML Ross. But after that September, it's going to go down until October, in which hopefully they bring back some stuff which they have in Octobers in the past. But I would expect this number to stay consistent for August, so that's pretty good. One Piece Treasure Cruise. This is, I think, the lesser of the One Piece games. Seems to be doing okay. Tears of Temis. I believe isn't this a Hoyo game? Yeah. It's kind of just hanging in there. I have no clue what's going on. JJK Phantom Parade hanging in there. I don't know what made it go down, but it's not a huge drop off. It's not a big deal. Memento Mori, million increase. Nice. It still blows my mind how much money this game makes for how little gameplay there is. Brown Dust 2, a $1 million drop off is actually insane. That's really surprising to me, because the patch before was Wilhelmina and some basically some anniversary units, and I would have expected that to be way more and then it to drop off a ton. So this is kind of the first big surprise for this list so far for me, is the fact that Brown Dust 2 was able to really hold on to its cash flow. We had a new unit come out. We had the ending of the summer banners, which had already started in June. And then we had basically, we had this angel, Eustia's mother came out. And if I'm being honest, people's other head spoke for this patch. I mean, she's basically like dressed in a loincloth. So maybe that's what it is. Boobs sell, man. That's what it was. This still surprises me, man. This is the first surprise of this chart, that it managed to retain its money. I love it. I love that Brown Dust 2 is doing well. I love Brown Dust 2. It's a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun in the game. I'm just surprised. I thought it would have dropped off more. We'll see if it picks up later, but I have no clue what is in the future for the game. Right now, we're in a spot, kind of like Girls Frontline 2, where we're not sure what's coming up next. You know, sometimes we have a little bit of a roadmap, sometimes we don't. And right now, we don't really have one for Brown Dust 2. So I'm excited that it's able to retain its money, but it's kind of impressive. So cool. Ensemble Stars continuing to make money. Summoners War. Okay, so this I got this wrong. This is the real Summoners War. I don't know what that other Summoners War was. This is the one I was thinking of. And it's just continuing to do well. This is, you know, fluctuations for a big game like this of like $2 million is just your normal ebb and flow of how things go. And then Puzzles and Dragons, it dropped off a lot. For a game like this, basically their income is more based on the economy. Like, if people have more money to spend, they'll spend on you know, the game they're enjoying. Or, you know, vice versa, they won't. And, you know, that's kind of, you know, one thing that's really interesting here is that $4 million came from iOS's and only $1 million from Android. I could be wrong, but women are more likely to be on an iOS than a guy. I need to look that up. So that's kind of interesting. I wouldn't expect them to want to play Puzzles and Dragons, though. Beyond the World, with this gray number here, that means that they weren't able to get any data. I believe that's what it means. This is a Girl Coomer game. Light and Night, another Girl Coomer game, dropped off a ton. So, whichever guy was released this month, he must have not been very hot. He must have been a dud. Sorry, man. You sucked. Alright. Let's see here. We have Girls Frontline 2. Huge increase. But I don't even know why. We have global increase of 100%. And Chinese increase of 150%. We had Chihuahua come out. And before that was like the ending of Springfield. Now on the CN side, I don't remember who was released. But the big stuff that like was coming, like was released like a day or two ago. And maybe that's where some of this revenue comes from. I think it was released on like the 31st. I don't know. Hey, I'm always happy that Girls Frontline 2 continues to do well. It's a fantastic game. One of the most consistent, you know, like bangers of a game out there. So I'm excited for that. I honestly expect this number to shoot up big time next month. Like even more so than where it is. I could be wrong. But I think next month we're going to have a huge drop for the global side. And then the Chinese side, whatever came out like on July 31st. So the bulk of their revenue from what just came out is gonna be in the August patch. Is gonna be in the August Gacha revenue report. So that'll be really interesting. I'm excited for that. I hope they bring that to global too. They released the that kind of like the 3D dorm, kind of like how Snowbreak has, and everyone says it's really cool. It's also interesting because that's the Gacha skin that came out that the big controversy is about. We'll see how that affects global if it comes out in August, or we'll see how it affects the Chinese servers. We'll see if there's a huge increase in revenue. Omnioji never got behind this. I think this is another type of mahjong type game. Cookie Run Kingdom, One Piece Bounty Rush, 7 Deadly Sins. I don't know much about it. Silver and Blood. So this is gaining some popularity. That's pretty good. We'll see what happens. I need to try it. Well, I don't think I even tried it. Like, I looked at it and I was like, maybe. This is another one that I need to try. I need to see how it's doing. But I believe it came out in June, and already it's had this big jump, so that's pretty good for it. Congratulations. Hatsune Miku, Colorful Stage. This has been up here for a while. Persona 5, The Phantom X. I've been hearing that people are not happy with this game. We'll see how it does. It's got the Persona 5 label. It's going to continue, I think, to do well for a while. But I have no clue what came out that allowed it to double. I think it's more the fact that the game came out later in June and July is the first full month. And from here, August will be the month in which we'll get to see how it's really doing, because we'll have 2 full months to compare against another. Blue Archive, yeah. We had a global, as you can see here, we had a global anniversary. So, huge increase. And, I had awful luck with my anniversary pulls. So that explains the doubling. Not surprised there. Infinity Nikkei, have they recovered? Looks like they have. Looks like China has bailed them out. We'll see if it continues to stay alive. But maybe they've finally turned the corner from their disastrous, like past 4 months of basically shooting themselves in the foot with stupid consumer decisions. Battle Cats, another Idol Master. There's so many Idol Masters, man. Seven Knights Rebirth. I know nothing about these games. Arc Knights, huge increase. I don't know what went on, but pretty good. Oh my goodness. Oh no. I was not expecting it to drop this far. I'd have to go back and see my video of what I said Wuthering Waves would drop to, because I said it would drop hard. And someone in my comment section pointed out, they're like, oh, but Frolova is going to come out, so it won't drop that hard. And I was like, oh, man, you've got a point, man. There are some people who really like Frolova. Oh, boy. We're going to hear, oh, man, you know what this means? This means we're going to get, like, 5 new fresh videos from Saint Tone Toss about how something in ZZZ or HSR is destroying the game and they're falling apart. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. We're going to see the defense videos come out. This is a hard drop. I'm almost, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive I said that this would drop to around like 22 million or so. This is not good. This is not a good look at all. Like, this was Cartethia's banner, okay? Oh, man. I don't know what to say. Next month, we'll have Augusta. So it's going to shoot back up again. But I think this is a hard truth to see this. And as you can see, Wuthering Waves is just much more popular in global than it is in China, which is very interesting. And I think the devs acknowledge that. But this is... I was expecting more, man. I knew it would probably... I don't know. I thought maybe Genshin would... Like, it could beat Genshin, maybe. But this is not a good look for Wuthering Waves. Oh, man. They can't keep doing this. They can't keep having just... being so hot and cold. You know, some games have fluctuations, like, based on big patches and whatnot. You know, favored units. And then they drop off a little bit. But with Wuthering Waves specifically, it's either they make a freaking ton or they drop off the face of the earth. Now, yeah, they're not making like in the hundreds of thousands. I mean, that's true. But for one of what a lot of people consider the big four to be dropping down this low, I think that's a problem. And ZZZ has had this problem before. HSR and Genshin really don't have this problem. But this is not a good look for Wuthering Waves. I kind of want to go back and look at my... I want to go back and look at my kind of analysis for June and see what I said it would drop into. I don't remember saying it would drop into the teens. Maybe I did, but this is surprise number 2 for me. I would have expected more. Dragon Ball Legends, hanging in there, doing it. This is the worst Dragon Ball Legends, I think, too. So the other one is up higher. That's pretty impressive. Monster Strike, Naruto no Mobile. Man, they're making a mistake. I have a feeling this would sell in the West. You need to get it over here as quickly as possible. We have Shadowverse Worlds Beyond. I have this on my computer. It's actually really clean. It's a card game, though, so I'm not as interested in it. Like, I just don't really like card games. Like Hearthstone-type games. So this is interesting. ZZZ. This was the Yi Xuan banner. Okay, let's go up here a little bit. This was the Yi Xuan banner. And what we have here is Yuzua. And we haven't even gotten Alice yet. So... that actually... Well, this is like the... Well, this is the anniversary banner, yeah. This is Yuzua right here. This is... Yeah. This is like part, Jifufu and Yuzua. So, I think Yuzua saved it from tanking down to where Wuthering Waves is. This is where I expected Wuthering Waves to be. And if you remember from last month, they were both like neck and neck. Like ZZZ lost out by like 100,000 or something. This though, I mean, this is what I expected out of Wuthering Waves, and not out of ZZZ. I thought ZZZ would drop more, but Yuzua is also a broken support. So she really, Yuzua really saved ZZZ from looking like Wuthering Waves. Next batch, I don't know. Like, I really can't predict how people are going to react to Orpheus, Magus, and Seed. I think we'll see. But the next batch is really going to be a bulk of Alice, and then it's going to be the beginning of either Orpheus or Seed. So we'll see what happens in August. I would expect it to probably pull the same number. I think 2 banners releasing is enough to make up for Yuzua being dropped. We'll see what happens. But I would expect around 20 to 23 million next batch for ZZZ. If it doesn't do that, it probably goes under. Probably gets worse. But this is what should have happened to Wuthering Waves, and it didn't. So that's kind of disappointing. That's the top 10. We got Fate Grand Order. Still can't believe people play this game. I don't know. It pisses me off. It really is a love for the Japanese. Let's see. SD Gundam G Generation Eternal. Okay. Goddess of Victory. This is one of the predictions I made at the beginning that it would make more than I expected, and sure enough. June was kind of like the fall off of the anniversary, so there wasn't as much there, and it was kind of like it had some collaborations. That's right, it had the Stellar Blade collaboration. So for the Stellar Blade collaboration and the Nier collaboration, the start of the Nier collaboration to be outdone by what was basically some really nice summer skins. That sounds about par for the course for Nikkei. Yeah. That's pretty impressive. So, yeah, I was expecting it to go up, and sure enough, it did. 28 million. 7. We have, here's the other Dragon Ball Z, Dokkan Battle. Dude, look at this jump, man. What is going on with Dragon Ball Z to have these absolute, just massive shifts? This is crazy. And then here you see number 5, Uma Musume. Uma Musume freaking was like number 1 when it was only out in Japan a couple of years ago. Like, it could beat Genshin on some months. And Honkai Star Rail. And look at, oh my gosh, man. They should have brought it to global so much sooner. Japanese devs are driving me nuts, man. So yeah, look at this. Made 22 million off of global. It released for the first time in global. It's just like, I don't know what to say. Like, man, I don't know why you wouldn't release this a whole lot sooner. So I think this is going to be a mainstay. I think this is going to stay up here for a while. It'll be in the top 10 for a long time. It was already really close just with Japanese, income. But now that global has entered the mix, I think it'll continue to be up here. So this is another game. I have it on my computer. I just need to play it more. All right, the top 4. We have, Love and Deep Space, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, and I don't know what the 4th one is. Oh, the 4th one's got to be Pokemon. Okay, so those are the top 4. Let's go ahead and see who's in 4th. I'm betting 4th is Genshin Impact. Oh, no, Pokemon TCG. This one confuses me a lot because from what I've heard people tell me about this game, it just kind of like they released a new pack every month. So you shouldn't have to, we shouldn't have to worry about like cycles and so forth. They probably do it like, and by cycles, I mean like character cycles like you have in Wuthering Waves or Genshin or anything like that. So I'm assuming it runs like Fire Emblem. Like every month you have, a new pack. Okay. And so for it to drop off hard like this, and, even though it only dropped 1 rank, man, it's still quite a huge drop. How much percentage? 35% drop off. 35 to 25, so in the middle. I don't know how it functions, man. It could be that maybe people were interested in other games and they wanted to spend their money there. We'll see, but I think over time, the novelty of Pokemon TCG Pocket is just going to wear off, and it will continually, like, if you look at a graph of, like, over a year, you're basically just going to see this, going downhill. It may be slow, and in the moment when you see, like, revenue, like, month to month, it may not seem like much, but I think over time it's just going to continue to get whittled down. So, we'll see what happens, but, yeah, I was expecting this to do better. All right, number 3 has to be Genshin. I just don't see it beating Love and Deep Space. Yeah, there we go. So, 65 down to 41 million for, we just had Inefa, but the big stuff was last patch, which was the Malvika rerun. I spent my Primo gems on it. I don't know why. I was just like, you know what? Go for it. And I believe it was the end of Skirk's banner. So the end of Skirk's banner and Malwika rerun. Yeah, Malwika still is pretty popular. I mean, she's considered, I guess, basically the best DPS in the game. So we'll see. In Nefa, this is going to drop a ton, and then when Nodcry releases, which I think will be like, it's going to be like the second week of September or something, September's revenue is going to be absolutely nuts and off the charts. It's going to be crazy. Just wait. This Genshin Impact will be number one next. No, not for August. Not for August. Okay. Number 2 is Love in Deep Space. Yeah, we knew this. There's no way HSR was not going to be number 1. Man, I don't know what to say about this. Like, I just know that the girl Coomers are out there. That's all I know. All right, let's look at number 1. How much did HSR make? I think they made over 100 million. Oh, no, I was wrong. I thought they would make over 100 million. Yeah, this is to be expected. We knew that June was a down month because everyone was preparing for this patch. The patch cycle for 3.5, like for 3.4, no, for 3.3 was the end of who came out in 3.3. Jeez, I don't even remember now. 3.3 like had Hyacinth, didn't it? And I can't remember who else. It was Hyacinth and someone else. Oh, and Cypher. So it was like the ending of Cypher's banner. And everyone knew Finon would be coming out, and it happened right at the beginning of July. So we knew this number was going to jump, especially with the Fate collab. This is just kind of predictable. Very popular in Japan, but just as equally popular in America. Like, it's really healthy, doing well. This doesn't surprise me. I probably would have expected it to be over 100 million, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, this number's obviously going to go down next month. I don't know how far down. Probably 50 million, maybe. And then depending on what is drip marketed, it's going to continue to go down in September as well. And then I don't think it'll be until October that we see a massive jump. Whenever Cyrene releases is when this game is going to absolutely have another pop off again. So a lot of its big months have already been out of the way for this year for HSR. This will probably be the last time it's on top until maybe it'll get another chance in October, but it's not going to be for another couple of months before it comes out again. So that's it for the entire Gacha revenue for the month of July. Biggest surprises, I think, for me are still the fact that Wuthering Waves cratered. I would have that's another like 8 million less than I thought it would do. I think a surprise for me is Infinity Nikke's rebound. I think that's always good. Brown Dust 2 not dropping is another surprise for me. So I think those are the big surprises for me. And I think we've got a lot of interesting stuff coming up. It'll be interesting to see where Genshin goes within the next couple of months with Nefa and the Nodcry characters. I think September is going to be a huge month for Genshin Impact. Probably next month, Love in Deep Space will be number 1 again. That's what I'm betting on. And number 2, will probably be HSR, maybe. It's going to start to slowly drop off down. So, plus the Fate banners will still be accessible. So, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is pretty exciting. Interesting stuff. And my games are all doing well, with the exception of this stupid thing down here. Pissed off about it. And Counterside. Counterside's not doing very well. And there's a lot of games that I need to test out. I need to like pull this up and then just like look through it all and see how it's doing. Yeah. Overall, pretty good report. I was pretty much right on most of the stuff that came out back in June. Pretty much spot on for them. So, all right. Well, that's gonna be it. Gotta wrap up the Gacha PvP here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some insight for, you know, the things that I know for games that are coming out. Probably the most interesting move on this list is I want to see how much money the Assassin's Creed remake is going to make for Reverse 1999. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Neptorka out. See you guys.